Alert going around, it concerns the payment of toll fines, and Crowder College hosts a unique way to take in a theater experience. KOAM News at 10 is next. Now at 10, authorities in southeast Kansas issue a warning concerning a toll fees scam. Plus, Crowder College offers a free and unique way to enjoy the theater, and we take a look at the possible impact of inflation on local Valentine's Day spending.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Pittsburgh Police Department wants to warn you about a scam going around. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. Some people in the area are receiving text messages indicating they need to pay toll fines. There are also social media posts claiming the Kansas Turnpike is alerting people about unpaid toll fines. Pittsburgh PD wants you to know that both of these are scams. Don't fall for it. Deputy Chief Ben Henderson says you should not respond to the messages or the posts. He also says people should avoid clicking these links and providing financial information.
No point in time again would the Turnpike Authority actually ever try to communicate directly through somebody's social media account or by email. Official communication would either come through a letter from the state of Kansas officially.
He recommends people call their local law enforcement if they've been a victim of a scam. Meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney joins us now with a first look at the weather.
Well, we did see a lot of snow yesterday, but most of the roads are clear, although still a lot of snow on the ground. So temperatures tomorrow are going to be a little bit cooler because of that snow. Plus, we're seeing more clouds starting to push into the area overnight tonight and into tomorrow. Temperatures warming up to the mid 40s, though. It is going to be a bit windy as we do see another front coming in on Saturday. So winds start to pick up early Friday morning, gusting 20-25 miles per hour. But by midday, 35 to 40 miles per hour. And those continue for most of the day. Now that front that's going to be moving in on Saturday, we are seeing some rain chances, a little bit of drizzle, and even a little bit of snow flurries as well. Plus another bigger system in store for us next week. And I'm going to have those details coming up.
See, as soon as if icy roads aren't bad enough, a United Express passenger jet ran off the runway in St. Louis. Officials with GoJet Airlines, which was operating the flight, said the plane landed and then slid off the taxiway before coming to stop in some grass, as you see. All 27 passengers and crew did get off the plane safely, and they were taken to the airport concourse by bus. No one was hurt. While officials at the St. Louis airport haven't said if weather contributed to the incident, a GoJet airline spokesperson said icy taxiways were the probable cause. Vendors from across Missouri and Arkansas made their way to Downstream Casino for the Joplin 2025 Contractor Expo. Close to 30 vendors were on hand to share details on product lines, talk projects, demonstrate new items, and more. Public was invited out to this free event, which also featured giveaways, prizes, appetizers, and a great way to network. Wasn't exactly a live stage show in Neosho, Missouri tonight, but it might have kind of felt like it. Crowder College Theater kicked off its Thursdays at the Theater series. People could gather at the Elsie Plaster Community Center on campus to watch a digital recording of a Broadway stage performance. Tonight it was a presentation of Cyrano de Bergerac, open to the public and free of charge.
Well, Crowder's here for us to have good education for those in a rural community. And here in the arts, we like to be able to share opportunities to experience the arts with people who may not have that opportunity outside of this area. So that's why we're I've been saying we're bringing Broadway to Neosho.
The next Thursday at the Theater event will be a presentation of Anything Goes on March 27th. On May 1st, you can see Taming of the Shrew. With Valentine's Day just hours away now, you might wonder if inflation is impacting traditional gifts and celebrations. Well, we visited Sunkissed Floral and Greenhouse in Miami, Oklahoma to see if locals are still celebrating the holiday in the same way.
We are very busy. Me and my daughter have been coming in at 3 in the morning, the last 3 mornings. It's amazing what people will spend at Valentine's Day. They always add a box of chocolates and a balloon usually.
I had previously ordered these to have sent to Tanya at school where she worked.
The owner says one of the most sought after items is roses. She says she tries to encourage mixes as well. Some athletes from Labette Community College visited Parsons Presbyterian Manor to brighten the day for some of the residents there. 20 wrestlers walked down a catwalk, did a little dance, and gave every woman a rose. For wrestlers, the event was a fun way to give something to the community.
I got here last year, I'm a sophomore, and Parsons is really just like, it feels like home, you know? It has a small town feeling, which I'm from a small town too, so giving back is always important. They give us a lot of support. They fill the stands at the duels, so we just have to give back to them because they show us a lot of support.
The Parsons Presbyterian Manor provides facilities for independent living, assisted living, and health services. A school district in southeast Kansas asks voters to approve a bond issue for safety and accessibility concerns. That story is coming up, but up first.
President Trump lays out a new plan for major tariffs on global trade partners. I'm Erica Brown in Washington with more and the latest from the president on the negotiations to end the war in Ukraine.
President Trump signed more executive orders today, including on reciprocal tariffs. He also addressed upcoming meetings to try to end the Russia-Ukraine war. Erica Brown has the latest from Capitol Hill.
President Trump showed off the executive order he signed that will determine reciprocal tariffs on U.S. trade partners.
It's a beautiful, simple system, and we don't have to worry about, gee, we're charging too much or too little.
The executive order will charge countries the same tariffs they levy on the U.S. That could cause already high prices to rise.
Economists have said, time and time again that tariffs do end up being a bit of a short-term and potentially long-term effect on things like inflation. And obviously that affects price levels that we see on the consumer level.
India's prime minister paid a visit to the White House Thursday for a meeting with the president.
Thank you very much. It's a great honor to have Prime Minister Modi of India.
The two leaders spoke about improving trade relations between the U.S. and India.
India's been to us just about the highest tariffed nation anywhere in the world. They've been very strong on tariffs.
The president also announced the U.S. and India will build a trade route running from India to Israel to Italy. In an evening press conference at the White House, President Trump discussed the negotiations that will be led by the U.S. to end the war with Russia and Ukraine.
I think we're going to be able to do something. I think we're going to be able to make a deal. And I hope so, because it's a horrible war.
The Trump administration also confirms to CBS News that representatives from Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency are now examining systems at the IRS as they continue their push to overhaul the federal government. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
President Trump was asked about his involvement in the Department of Justice, asking prosecutors to drop a corruption case against New York City Mayor Eric Adams. The president said he had nothing to do with it and no prior knowledge of that request. The Senate has confirmed Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to lead the Department of Health and Human Services. The 52-48 vote fell along party lines except for former Senate Majority Leader and polio survivor Mitch McConnell, who was the only Republican voting no. RFK Jr. has long been a critic of vaccines and faced a contentious nominating process, with other members of the Kennedy family speaking out against his confirmation. Today, President Trump hosted the swearing-in ceremony in the Oval Office.
He's a fierce advocate for the health of our children and for the values of free speech, democracy, and peace. And people are going to be very impressed.
Whether you're in a blue state or red state, I'm going to do everything I can to work with you, whether you're Democrat or Republican, to restore child's health in this country.
As Health and Human Services Secretary, RFK Jr. will oversee the nation's health industry, which includes food safety, pharmaceuticals, public health, and vaccines. The Uniontown School District is asking voters to approve an upcoming bond issue. The $1.25 million bond project would address safety and accessibility concerns. It would make the elementary school doors accessible, according to the Americans with Disability Act, and replace their preschool building. The bond would install new fire alarms in the high school, replacing ones that don't have smoke detectors or alert first responders.
We're not asking for something arbitrary or something just for fun. Like, these are legitimate things that in order to ensure the preschool happens, ensure we don't have a fire emergency or disaster at the high school, and ensure patrons can, access, equitably the front doors.
District staff say if passed, the bond would not increase taxes. That's because property values have increased faster than the district expected from a previous 2016 bond. There's now room, they say, for the payments of the proposed bond issue without increasing the tax rate or extending the payment timeline. Voters will decide on that bond issue in a special election March 4th. Missouri State University is celebrating more than $9 million in private donations. Among other things, money is going to be used to renovate the Greenwood Laboratory School, establish new scholarships and funds to others, and support MSU athletics. There were also gifts for the Department of Digital Fashion and Merchandising, the MSU Care Clinic, and the Bear Food Pantry.
The donations are significant. These are individuals that have given their time, talents, and their treasures, and it's anywhere from capital improvements to endowed scholarships to helping programs like the marching band or the Lady Bears basketball. But these gifts really are impacting people's lives.
The donations came from alumni, members of the community, and former board members, among others. The nomination round is over. Now it's time to officially vote for who you think is the 4 state's finest. Choose from 5 categories: eating and drinking, arts and entertainment, health and fitness, services, and shopping from businesses all across the 4 states. Scan this QR code or head over to KOIMnewsnow.com/finest to cast your votes. But don't waste any time because voting ends on February 19th. Lindsay returns next with a complete look at your forecast, and a little bit later, bird lovers have a day they can count on. That story's coming up.
Well, the last couple of days we've seen a bit of snow, but it started to melt today because of the sun coming out. Now we have a clear night tonight. Taking a look outside downtown Joplin from the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. Winds are pretty light, looking all right, but winds start to pick up tonight and into tomorrow, along with clouds starting to move into the area as well. You can see a few of those upper level clouds pushing in, but lower level clouds make an appearance as well ahead of another front that's coming through. So we've got a warm front coming in. That's going to warm our temperatures for the next couple days. So today we only got up to the mid-20s, but tomorrow 20-degree jump, mid-40s, mid to upper 40s, even reaching 50 on Saturday briefly before another cold front comes in. Now tonight it's going to be pretty cold though, so we're still starting off temperatures dropping down into the 20s and even upper teens, but little wind in the morning that's going to cause a bit of a wind chill tonight and into tomorrow. So feels like single digits, low teens, and it's going to feel like that through most of the morning on Friday. But as temperatures start to warm up, even though we are seeing some winds gusting up to 40 miles per hour, it's going to feel a little bit better, but it's going to feel like in the upper 30s instead of the 40s. But let's go ahead and take a look at the future track. So we've got that warm front that came through. Winds out of the south gusting up to 40 miles per hour. Temperatures in the morning, low teens, upper teens, low 20s. Temperatures by 10 a.m. Low 30s already, but you can see overcast skies pretty much for most of the day. Not expecting a lot Friday outside of the clouds. Temperatures warming up to the upper 40s to mid 40s, 47 in Joplin, 46 Miami, 41 Yates Center. So still a little bit cooler out there. And then we have the chance to see some drizzle, maybe even some flurries on Saturday, as well as another cold front's coming through. So you can see there's where our wind shifts outside of the area by about 7 a.m. Still see those drizzle showers kind of pushing into the area. That continues through most of the afternoon. It's 1:30 now. Slight drizzle, light isolated showers, and then still some flurries later afternoon after 6 p.m. pushing in behind that front. Now temperatures fall as we head into Sunday morning, back into the upper teens, and then clouds start to clear, and then we're looking all right, mostly sunny on Sunday, but temperatures are going to be a bit cooler. So a warmer Saturday, but we've got that drizzle and flurries along the cold front. dropping our temperatures again on Sunday. And then heading into Monday, more Arctic air pushes in along with snow chances. This could be one of our bigger systems that we've seen this season. That's going to be pushing in Monday night into Tuesday, and then a lot of cold Arctic air being pushed in after that, which is going to drop our temperatures highs in the teens and lows in the single digits and even below zero. So we've got that to look forward to. But until then, temperatures are warming up over the weekend with another cold front coming through Saturday night, bringing a little drizzle, bringing a little flurries, and then cooling us down Sunday. Another warm up on Monday, but that big Arctic system coming in on Tuesday.
Looking cold, Lindsay, thanks. If you love birds, here's a great way to spend your Valentine's Day. The Great Backyard Bird Count returns tomorrow, runs through Monday. This global event tracks birds to help scientists and conservationists understand changing bird populations. As Nicolette Zangara reports, the only thing you need to do your part is to sit outside for 15 minutes a day and count all the wild birds you see.
Despite a few glimpses of spring, we're still in the dead of winter. This means the trees are bare and birds have yet to travel for spring migration, which makes February the perfect time for the Great Backyard Bird Count. The rules are straightforward. Just count the birds. And don't worry if you think you see one bird multiple times within the 15 minutes.
If you're seeing a dove that comes and goes in your yard, you don't really know if it's the same dove, so you just count it. That's going to give the overarching a picture of populations. Percentage-wise, birds come and go in your yard every day, all day, and if you're a bird watcher or a bird feeder, sometimes you kind of know how many birds you have, but unless you're watching and counting during those spots during the day, it's hard to actually quantify the numbers that you're seeing.
If you live away from green spaces, you can go to a park, lake, or the Springfield Nature Center, where it will host its own event.
This Saturday, February 15th, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., there's going to be a program there, and it's going to be kind of a come whenever you want during that period program. There's not like a structured, where you have to be at a certain time.
This annual event puts eyes from all over the world on our feathery neighbors, giving scientists a large data set to see what's changing in the bird community.
The importance of this to humans, in addition to finding out what's going on with birds, if things are changing for birds in a negative way, that probably means they're changing for humans in a negative way too. So it's all connected.
Starting tomorrow, fill the bird feeders, get bundled up, and get to counting. After your 15-minute observation period, head over to birdcount.org. It's free to enter your daily submission. Still ahead, Pitt State women's basketball tries to win its 13th game in a row, and Missouri Southern baseball receives a top 10 ranking. John Dales has those stories and more next.
Well, once again here in the four states, the majority of the high school sporting events that were scheduled for tonight are either postponed or canceled. That's because classes, for the most part, not in session with the winter weather. But all four of our local college basketball teams are in action. The 5th-ranked Pittsburgh State women on the road at Missouri Western. They win their 13th game in a row, this time 77-62 over the Griffins, who were in first place in the MIAA's KPI standings. Entering tonight, 4 different Gorillas finished the game with double-digit points. Gorillas' men's team makes it a clean sweep of the Griffins tonight. They win at 71-61. Jeff Bosche's team has a winning streak of its own now. This is its 4th consecutive victory. Balanced attack for PSU. 5 different Gorillas finished this one with 10 points or more. Missouri Southern basketball is up in Maryville taking on Northwest Missouri. Both Lions teams are fighting to make it into the MIAA tournament. This loss certainly is going to hurt the Lady Lions. They fall to Northwest 62-54. Southern is now 8-6 in conference play, and this was a very winnable game because MSSU led at the end of the third quarter, but gets outscored 18-9 in the fourth. However, the Missouri Southern men get a last-second victory, 69-67 over the Bearcats. Lion guard Jaden Taylor hits the game winner with just 3 seconds left in regulation. He finishes this one with a game-high 21 points. Missouri Southern baseball is 6 games into its 2025 season. Lions have had a couple of weather-related cancellations this week, but MSSU jumps up in this week's coaches poll. Lions started the year ranked 11th. They're now the number 7 team in the country. Southern will brave the elements tomorrow afternoon for a home doubleheader. That's against Drury, 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock start times. There's one MIAA team ranked ahead of the Lions. That's Central Missouri. They're in the number 4 spot. And wrapping things up with a look over at pro basketball, the Thunder are now riding a 7-game winning streak after last night's comeback victory against the Heat. Well, that winning streak comes to a halt tonight. Thunder lose 116-101 to the Timberwolves. Not the best showing from Oklahoma City's star player, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Despite scoring 24 points, he shoots just 6 of 21 from the floor. This loss not common. The Thunder are now 44-10. That's their record on the season. They've got more than a week off, though, because of the NBA All-Star break. OKC doesn't play again until February 21st. That's it for sports. We're back with more news after this.
Well, clouds start to move in on Friday as well as winds gusting up to 40 miles per hour. Now temperatures getting into the mid to upper 40s, not so bad. And then heading into Saturday, we're starting to see a cold front come through, bringing a little bit of drizzle, a little bit of flurries through most of the day, and then a cool down on Sunday.
No work meant all play for kids of all ages today at Pittsburgh Schlanger Park. Some folks made the most of the snow day by building snowmen or doing this, taking in some high-speed sledding. Today was even more special for one grandpa who spent the day with his granddaughter.
Excellent. You know, went through it with my kids, now I get to go through it with her, and it's just so much fun. Just watching it in her eyes.
Keep those sleds out because, as Lindsay said, 4-state residents might soon have another snow day or two coming up in the very near future, looking like snow next week. Yeah, it can be a mess to drive on, but it can be kind of fun to play in for sure. Final look at the sports.
Yeah, a couple of the notes on those college basketball scores. Missouri Southern, the men, they beat Northwest for the first time since 2018. And then the Pitt State women, their win streak stretches back to December of this year. So they haven't lost in 2025.
That's impressive. Let's see if they can keep that streak going. Thanks for joining us. Morning show at 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.